Hello friends, welcome to our channel Simply Mathematical. In this video, let us do the miscellaneous exercise on chapter 2, problem 1 to 6. So now let us look at the first problem. The first problem is the relation f is defined by fx equal to x square when 0 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3, 3x when 3 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 10. The relation g is defined by gx equal to x square when 0 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 and 3x when 2 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 10. Show that f is a function and g is not a function. Okay. So here you are given two relations f and g. You have to check whether these two relations f and g are functions or not. Okay, and you have to get f is a function and g is not a function. So let us try to solve. So first let us look at the function fx which is given to you. So fx equal to x square when 0 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3 and 3x when 3 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 10. Now if you look at the number line, here if it is 0, here if it is 3 and here if it is 10. Okay. Now for all the values between 0 and 10, you can see that for the values between 0 and 3, the definition of the function is x square. Okay. All these numbers between 0 and 3 are positive. So the square of all these positive numbers will be all different to each other. Okay. For example, if you take 1 here, then the square of 1 is 1. And if you take 2 square, which is between 0 and 3, that will be 4. Okay. If you take the square of 0.5, the whole square, you will get 0.25. So all the values between 0 and 3 have different squares. Okay. So here all the values will be different. Now if we check 3, then f of 3 from the first definition is nothing but 3 square, which is equal to 9. Okay. Now if you look at the x in this, x goes from 3 to 10. So if you take f of 3 from the second definition, you will get 3 multiplied by 3, which is 9. Okay. So we had to only check the value 3 here in this domain. Okay, because for all other values the relation f takes unique values. Okay, only we had 3 and 3 here. Okay, so we have to check the value of the function at x equal to 3. So we are getting it as equal to 9. Okay, and for both the values 3, we are getting the same value 9. Okay, you know that a function takes values in the domain to unique values in the codomain. Okay, so here you can see that you are getting unique values for each x between 0 to 3 and from 3 to 10. Okay, we can also check this here. From 3 to 10 we will get unique values. Okay, so what you can conclude is f is a function. Now let us look at the second function, that is second relation, that is gx equal to x square where 0 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2 and 3x when 2 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 10. Okay, now if we check the values in the domain here. So first, if we draw a number line 0 to 2 up to 10, so all the values between 0 and 2 will have different squares. Okay, so the function g will take unique values for the values between 0 and 2. So here you have 1 2, the another 2 is here, so we have to check the value of the relation g at 2 also. Okay, so g of 2 from here is what? 2 square equal to 4, and g of 2 from the second definition is 3 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 6. Okay, so you can see that 4 is not equal to 6. So this relation takes the value 2 to two different values, 4 and 6. Okay, but you know that a function takes all the values in the domain to unique values in the codomain, but here you are getting a relation which takes two same values to two different values. Okay, so therefore g is not a function. Okay, that was the problem number 1. Now let us go to the second problem. Second problem is, if fx is equal to x square, find f of 1.1 minus f of 1 divided by 1.1 minus 1. Okay, let us try to solve. You are given the function fx equal to x square. We have to find f of 1.1 minus f of 1 divided by 1.1 minus 1. Okay, so this is simple. You have to just check the values at 1.1 of the function fx, then the value of function at 1, and then you have to also calculate this and just divide this value with this value. Okay, so f of 1.1 will be what? Function fx is defined as x square, so we have to find 1.1 square. Okay, so that is 1.1 multiplied by 1.1. This is 11 multiplied by 11, that is 121, and the decimals will be here. Okay, so what you get is the value of the function at 1.1 is 1.21. Now what is the value of f of 1? That will be 1 square, which is 1. So you are getting f of 1.1 minus f of 1 is 1.21 minus 1 divided by 1.1 minus 1 will be 0.1. Okay, so you will get 1.21 minus 1 will be 0.21 divided by 0.1, so which is equal to 2.1. Okay, so that is the answer. That was the second problem. Let us go to the third problem now. The third problem is, find the domain of the function fx equal to x square plus 2x plus 1 divided by x square minus 8x plus 12. Okay, so we have to find the domain of this function fx. So let us see how to solve. You are given a function fx equal to x square plus 2x plus 1 divided by x square minus 8x plus 12. Now we have to check the domain of this function. Whenever you check the domain of the function, we have to see where this function is defined or for which x the function is defined. Okay, now you can see that if this quantity in the denominator becomes 0, then the function will not be defined. Okay, so we have to check for which values this quadratic expression becomes 0, and we have to remove all those values from the real numbers. Okay, that is how we will get the domain of the function fx. So first we will check at what values this quadratic expression is equal to 0. So x square minus 8x plus 12 equal to 0 we have to put. Okay, so you know how to solve this quadratic equation. You can use the factorization method or splitting the middle term method. So you will get x minus 6x minus 2x plus 12 equal to 0. So that means x multiplied by x minus 6 minus 2 multiplied by x minus 6 is equal to 0. So x minus 2 multiplied by x minus 6 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 6. So you find that at these values of x, this quadratic expression becomes 0. Okay, so we have to remove all these values from the real numbers, and then you will get the domain. So domain will be equal to the real numbers minus the set 2, 6. Okay, so that was the domain of the function fx and the solution of the problem 3. Now let us go to the fourth problem. Okay, the fourth problem is find the domain and the range of the real function f defined by fx equal to root of x minus 1. Okay, now here we have to find the domain and the range of the function fx. So let us see how to solve. So you are given a function fx equal to root of x minus 1. We have to find the domain and the range of this function. So you know how to find the domain. We have done one problem just now. We have to check where this function is defined or for which values of x the function is defined. Okay, now here the function is defined as root of x minus 1. Now you know that root of a negative quantity is not defined. Okay, so we have to check where this value in the root is non-negative. Okay, so that means greater than or equal to 0. So that means we have to check where x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, for which values of x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. So that means from here what we get is x is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so this means what? This means x belongs to closed interval 1 comma infinity open. Okay, because if you look at the line, if this is 0, if this is 1, if this is plus infinity here, then x is greater than or equal to 1 means the x will lie between 1, okay, and 1 is included to infinity, that is x is greater than 1 and less than infinity. So this interval, so that means the interval closed 1 comma infinity open. Okay, so the domain we have got it as closed 1 infinity open. Okay, now let us check the range of the function fx. Now to check the range, there is a method. What we have to do is, first we have to put y equal to fx here. Okay, so let y equal to fx. Now this fx is given as root of x minus 1. Okay, range means all the values y, okay, which is equal to root of x minus 1. So you have to put y equal to root of x minus 1, and what we have to do is we have to check where the value y lies. Okay, so for that what we will do is we will take the domain of the function fx. So domain of the function fx is given as this. Okay, so that means we have to take this x greater than or equal to 1, because we have got that from here only. So we can take what? X is greater than or equal to 1. So that means 1 is less than or equal to x, less than infinity. We have to always take less than infinity if x greater than or equal to 1 is given to us. Okay, or x greater than or equal to any value a, then we should write it as less than or equal to x less than infinity. Okay, so now what we want is, we want to find y. So we want to find root of x minus 1. Now here in the root, first we have x minus 1, so we have to get x minus 1 here first. Okay, so how to get x minus 1 in the inequality? Just subtract 1 throughout the inequality. Okay, so 1 minus 1 less than or equal to x minus 1 less than infinity minus 1. Okay, so that means 0 is less than or equal to x minus 1 less than infinity. Now we have to get root for x minus 1. So what we have to do is take positive square root throughout the inequality. So what you will get? You will get root of 0 less than or equal to root of x minus 1 less than root of infinity. Okay, since we are taking a positive square root, the signs of the inequality will not change. Okay, so you will get this, and root of infinity is infinity. Okay, so what you will get is 0 less than or equal to root of x minus 1 less than infinity. Okay, so that means you get 0 less than or equal to root of x minus 1 is y, so you will get y less than infinity. Okay, now I have already told you that y are nothing but the values in the range of the function fx. So the range of the function f will be what? Will be where the values y lie. Okay, or the set in which the values y lies. Okay, so what is the set? It is the set 0 closed, because 0 is less than or equal to, so 0 closed comma less than infinity is there, so infinity open. So range of f will be equal to closed 0 comma infinity open. So that was the problem number 4. Okay, now let us go to the problem number 5. Problem number 5 is, find the domain and the range of the real function f defined by fx equal to modulus of x minus 1. Okay, so let us try to solve problem number 5. So you are given a function fx equal to modulus of x minus 1. Okay, this is the same as the previous problem. What we have to do is, we have to find the domain and the range. Now you know how to find the domain. We have to check for which values of x the function value is defined. Okay, here the function value is modulus of x minus 1. Now you know that modulus of x is equal to x when x is greater than or equal to 0 minus x if x is less than 0. Okay, now here instead of x we have x minus 1. So let us see the definition of the modulus now. So modulus of x minus 1 will be equal to x minus 1 if x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0 minus of x minus 1 if x minus 1 is less than 0. I am just replacing x minus 1, I am just replacing x by x minus 1. Okay, so I got x minus 1 when x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, and minus x minus 1 when x minus 1 is less than 0. So that means modulus of x minus 1 is equal to x minus 1 if x is greater than or equal to 1, and minus x minus 1 if x is less than 1. from here. Okay, so what you're getting the domain as x greater than or equal to 1 and x less than 1, right? These values here are in the domain. So you are getting x greater than or equal to 1, x less than 1. Let us see what it is. So if this is 0, if this is 1, x greater than or equal to 1 means this interval, okay, 1 to infinity. X less than 1 means this interval, okay, from minus infinity to 1, right? So what you are getting here, you are getting the entire real number line, okay, that is set of real numbers. So the domain of this function is nothing but the set of real numbers, okay. Right, now we will do the range of the fx. So to find the range of the function fx, what we have to take is the domain only, right? First we have to take the domain. Now, but before that, what we have to do is let y be equal to fx, which is equal to modulus of x minus 1. This we have to write, okay. Now we have to find this y, which is equal to modulus of x minus 1, okay. Now domain is given as what? Domain is R. So you know that R is what? Minus infinity, less than x, less than infinity, right? This is the meaning of the set real numbers. So we have to take the domain as this. Now we are taking in different way, but it is the same thing, that is the set of real numbers. So now you have modulus of x minus 1 here, and modulus has x minus 1 inside it, right? So we have to subtract 1 throughout the inequality. So what you will get? Minus infinity minus 1 less than x minus 1 less than infinity minus 1, okay. So that means minus infinity is less than x minus 1 less than infinity, right? So this we have. Now you want modulus of x minus 1, so that means you have to operate modulus here. So when you operate modulus, what you will get? See, modulus of a function by definition is this, right? That means we are given the function x minus modulus of x minus 1, so we get this definition. Now you can see that modulus of any quantity is positive always, okay. So for example, if you take modulus of 2, you will get 2. Modulus of minus 2, also you will get 2. Why? Because it is minus of minus 2, because by the definition of modulus, modulus of minus 2 will be minus of minus 2, because minus 2 is negative, okay. So whenever you have negative number, modulus function does what? It just multiplies minus sign to the negative number and makes it positive, okay. So whenever we will operate modulus function here, the function value will be positive or 0, okay. So what you will get is modulus of x minus 1 will be greater than or equal to 0, okay. Modulus of any quantity, in particular x minus 1, will be greater than or equal to 0, okay. So you know that modulus of x minus 1 is y here, so y will be equal to modulus of x minus 1, which is greater than or equal to 0. So that means y is greater than or equal to 0, okay. So that means the range of f will be equal to what? Will be equal to closed 0 comma infinity open, okay. Because if you look at the number line here, if this is 0, if this is plus infinity, y greater than or equal to 0 means 0 and the numbers which are greater than 0. So all this, right, and this interval is nothing but closed 0 comma infinity open, okay. So range of f will be this. So that was the problem number 5. Now let us go to the sixth problem. Let f be equal to the set of ordered pairs x comma x square divided by 1 plus x square such that x belongs to the set of real numbers, be a function from R into R, determine the range of f. Okay, so here we are given the function in terms of ordered pairs. Okay, and the function is from R to R. We have to determine the range of the function. Now let us solve the problem 6. So you are given a function f equal to x comma x square divided by 1 plus x square, where x belongs to the set R. Okay, so you know that a relation, when it is defined in terms of a ordered pair, suppose a comma b belongs to the relation R, then we can interpret it as RA equal to B. Okay, that is R of the first element is equal to the second element. A function is a special relation. Okay, so we can write here fx equal to x square divided by 1 plus x square. Okay, where x belongs to the real numbers. So we have to first write this in terms of the standard way of writing the function. So we have written it here, fx equal to x square divided by 1 plus x square, where x belongs to the real numbers. Now we have to find the range of this function f. Okay, now whenever you find the range, first we have to take the domain, right? So the domain here is x belongs to R. That means minus infinity is less than x less than infinity. This is the domain, okay, of the function f. So that we have to take, and let y be equal to fx, because we have to find the set in which this values y lies, and that will be the range set, okay, of the function f. Now since y is equal to x square divided by 1 plus x square, we have to get this in the inequality, right? So in the inequality we have to get x square divided by 1 plus x square. Now that contains x square, right? So we have to see where x square lies between. Okay, so these are all the real numbers that you have. If you square all the real numbers, then you will get non-negative numbers. Okay, so that means minus infinity less than x less than infinity, if you take the square of x here, you will get x square greater than or equal to 0 less than infinity, right? Okay, now we know that 0 is less than 1, right? 0 is less than 1. Now if we add x square throughout the inequality, what we will get? We will get 0 plus x square less than 1 plus x square, right? If we add x square throughout the inequality. Okay, so that means x square is less than 1 plus x square. Okay, now you can see here that x square is greater than or equal to 0 also. So we have to write x square greater than or equal to 0 less than 1 plus x square. Okay, now you can see that 1 plus x square is always greater than 0, right? 1 plus x square is always greater than 0. It will never be 0. If you take negative number, you will get a positive number, and if you add it with 1, it will be greater than 0. If you take positive numbers, you will get square of the positive number as positive number. You can add it with 0 and that will be greater than 0. If you take 0, then you will get 1 plus 0, which is 1, which is still greater than 0. So this 1 plus x square will never be equal to 0. So we can divide this inequality by 1 plus x square. So what you will get if you divide this inequality by 1 plus x square? You will get 0 divided by 1 plus x square less than or equal to x square divided by 1 plus x square less than 1 plus x square divided by 1 plus x square. Okay, so that means 0 is less than or equal to x square divided by 1 plus x square less than 1. Okay, and now what is x square divided by 1 plus x square? It is y. Okay, So we can write 0 less than or equal to y less than 1. Okay, so we have got less than or equal to y less than 1, and you know that y are nothing but the values in the range set. So range of f will be equal to nothing but closed 0, because 0 is included, right, comma 1 open, because 1 is not included. So the range of f will be closed 0 comma 1 open. Okay, so that was the problem number 6. That's it in the video, guys. If you have liked my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.